Knight out to f3. So yeah, I think the mate in 1 count was 1 or 2, depending on whether or not we're letting John off that last one. But I wasn't following carefully enough. It might turn out that we're being harsh, but I somehow believe 2. It's been worse. Alright, we're going to go with a classical Dutch in this game. Been doing too many Stonewall-y type things and Leningrad Dutchy type things. Gonna just mate him on h2 here. Proper hack attack style. Look, that's 2 queen moves. Yay! We're maybe not going to beat 4 because I'm actually trying to play a proper opening. And just checkmate. Huh. Bishop g5. Is that a move? It's probably a move. Don't forget that the fun does not end with Hack Attack tonight. There is Chess Bras continuing Chess Monday straight after this stream. And plenty of more stuff after that. Check out the schedule at chess.com/TV. I'm going to fianchetto a bishop on b7 because I really want to go knight g4, knight d4, bishop takes f3, queen takes h2 mate. I mean, yeah. My opponent apparently doesn't want to get mated, which seems rude. Okay, let's go bishop d8. And then maybe a6 to shift the knight. I have some ideas here. And almost all of them are mate on h2. Could I go e5 and try and mate him on h2? e5, knight takes, bishop takes, knight g4, wins a piece. e5, bishop takes e5, knight g4 doesn't win a piece. e5, bishop takes knight g4. Bishop takes knight g4. Bishop f4. Knight. No, that doesn't win. That doesn't win at all. I'm getting the feeling that e5 doesn't win. What about a6, knight takes c7, e5, knight takes a8? I think I'm finding lots of ways to not win. Let's go d6. Oh, look, all my time disappeared. Okay. Knight there is moderately irritating. Knight takes d4, bishop takes b7, knight takes e2 check. Is fine. Okay, no, I think maybe it's just a mistake. If knight takes d4, I'm chopping on g2 and playing e5. Bishop b7, knight e2, king g2, rook b8. Should be fine. I have to watch out for bishop f3 check, but I've got knight takes f4 and queen g6, so that's fine. Okay, we chop here. King takes g2, e5, knight e6, we take on f4, he takes on f8. Man, this is a lot of calculating. It is too late in the day for calculating. Yesterday was too early in the day for calculating. Basically, I can calculate between the hours of 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 7 in the evening. And that's about it. Catch me at any other time, and it's gut instinct, I'm afraid. Alright, let's take a bishop off. Bishops are worth less than pawns. But also I hear knights are worth less than rooks. So, the game is not over yet. That's what I'm trying to say, I think. Is pawn takes g3 clever in any way? Not really. I mean, I'm very happy if he plays g takes f4 because I've got queen g4 check or knight g4. Haven't really picked which move. But I don't see any reason to worry. Does that move change anything? Maybe. Knight g4 h3, f3 check, queen takes. I don't have any tactics there. I'm close to having tactics there. I also really don't want to swap queens. But, but there we go. I also don't want to lose on time. Do I have increment? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay, that might accidentally result in the queens coming off. But just do need to win this game. What to do here? Got to run away. I think he's going to take and play e4 here. Then I can go bishop f6 to unpin myself. He goes rook e1 and says you haven't really unpinned yourself. And I go rook e8, maybe. Rook e8, chops, chops. That isn't very... Oh, it is clever. Rook e8. ef, rook takes e1, followed by knight takes f5. Is just 2 pieces for a rook. He can't go rook f1 because of knight e3 check. Oh, we did a calculation. We do have 13.5 seconds left. Plus 2 seconds a move, so I guess that's good news. Okay. So again, rook f1 is met with knight e3 check and I win the exchange. Other than that, I just have to bring my pieces into the game. And hopefully... I need to win a pawn, create a passed pawn, push a passed pawn. Bishop c3 feels like an astonishingly good way of doing these things. Rook f1, king g6. He can take on b6 here, I think. And I'm going to recapture with the a pawn. Going to pre-move, so maximum time is gained. Oh dear. Bishop back here. We really need a plan. It's hard to push a pawn when you don't have a passed pawn. So I need a passed pawn first. I'm not playing this very well. Maybe king f6 is a good move. And bishop e5 and stuff. Bishop e5 makes lots of sense. Maybe knight check somewhere. Let's take this way. Check. If king... Okay, king goes there. This ending is really tough to convert. The amount of time I have is not helping massively. But I really need to get that c pawn rolling. That feels like the pawn to push. Without dropping the h pawn. If at all possible. Whilst catching up on time. I can mate with bishop and knight versus king. That would be an epic conclusion to this game. Would I be able to do it at this time of the night? The time control shouldn't matter. The tiredness factor might matter a little bit. Okay, we've got to try and pick up that pawn. Okay, if he goes rook f7, knight e5 wins the rook. Okay, we're going after that pawn. Let's go bishop f8 to be clever. We really don't want to lose this pawn. And we really want to win this one. Up to 10 seconds. 10 seconds plays 22. He's catching me up on the clock. King comes out here. Ready to play knight takes pawn. Can now play knight takes pawn safely. This is tense. Bishop to h6. He now wins this pawn. But does it matter? Can I go c3 anyway? No, I can't, because then he can give up the rook for the pawn. That's ridiculous. This feels really nastily like it's heading for king, bishop and knight against king. That is not something I'd anticipated on Hack Attack. But let us see. King runs away. Oh my word, I'm making it so it's even difficult to get that far. Alright, we're going to go king d5 and stuff. He takes it. Okay. Well, I need my knight covering h8. Okay, that's a good move. He goes king g8, I play knight g6. I can blockade. Haha, so now we've blockaded the pawn, we should be able to come around and take it with the king. King comes to here. We don't go to the square that blockades the bishop's defence. The king comes across. We have 7 seconds left at the beginning of this ending. And we have to force the king towards one side of the board. King goes here. We eventually want to face it to the same colour. This would be so much easier without commentating, but let's see if I can do this. Okay. Bishop moves back. Bishop goes across. King goes here, trying to force him to the edge of the board. Quite happy with him going. Oh my word, this is trickier. This is so much trickier with... Okay, we forced him to an edge of the board position. Check. Here. Bishop here. I think this is the starting position. Bishop here. His king goes across. It's a knight move. Then knight check. And the king goes... We drag the king across one square. Then king goes across. We're doing this, guys. We're doing the king, bishop, and knight against king. Bishop b6. Knight goes... So it's a W formation. We're now going in this direction. And knight across. What piece am I supposed to move here? Panic stations. Let's just waste a move with the bishop. That should be fine. Ah, yeah, that's it, because it was originally our move, and it shouldn't have been. That's fine. King goes across. We've now trapped him in the corner. This is progress. Herding him towards the same colour as our bishop. It should now be a case of working out how to mate the guy. We waste a tempo with the bishop. King goes here. We check knight h6 check. King goes to h8. And bishop e2, mate. We win the game. Well, yeah. That was game 1 against skotheim2. Time for the rematch. Which will now probably be the final game of the night, because apparently that was a 90-move game and took us some time. But there we go. So apologies for all of the openings that did not make it into the show, but king, bishop and knight against king did make it into the show. There we go. I am broken after that. Do not expect anything other than a disaster and a complete train wreck after that game. But there we go. Castle's kingside. The only thing that was a slight shame is he didn't do the tricky thing where he tried to run his king away. There was a moment when he played king d1 or king e8 or something. King c8 when he should try and go the other way. And you've got to demonstrate a technique called keeping the king in the box. But other than that, it was kind of reasonably smooth, I think. So there we go. I don't know if such a thing can end up in a highlight. I will have to think about that. It might be a wholly separate thing. Anyway, we have a... I've forgotten the name of this opening. It wasn't it was a Philidor. That's what it was, a Philidor. And it's been kind of positional so far. So we're going to try and bring a bishop round to g3. Whew. Chess bras will be starting after the continuation of this, after the conclusion of this mini match. I cannot even speak anymore, let alone play vaguely sensible chess moves. Queen d2, rook across to d1. Okay. I'm trying to get him to take on d4 so I can capture with the knight, place the knight on f5, and checkmate him over on the king side. But for the moment, he's been very reluctant to take on d4, and that's probably to his credit. I'm going to tuck my king in the corner because I literally can't think of a move. Trying to stay up on the clock this time. I need a moment where d takes e5 turns out to be a good move. And this is not it for the moment. But my opponent is also running out of good moves. This actually happens quite a lot in the Philidor. One option is to play knight h4 to f5. I've suddenly remembered that's a possibility. I think that's what I'm going to do. He's thinking about taking and playing c5, so I should be careful here. Where do I want my pieces if he takes and plays c5? I don't know. Let's go queen e2 so I can go queen c4 and target f7. We're just going to carry on playing moves until a plan appears. Well, we persuaded him to take on d4. That means our knight's going to land on the f5 square. I think we finally caused him to run out of other playable moves, but now I really like my position. I can either play knight f5 straight away or f4 followed by knight f5. Might follow up an ending masterclass with an actual hack attack. Let's see. Knight goes to f5. Pretty good square for a knight. Queen looking to go to c4. Not if he plays d5 though. He didn't play d5. I'm even threatening to grab a pawn, which I will do if pushed. Might have knight b5s in the air because the c pawn is pinned. Have other things to do, maybe, possibly. If he goes rook d7, I will investigate whether or not e5 wins me the game. e5, chops, chops. It doesn't obviously win me the game. He's played rook d7. e5 takes, takes, knight takes. I don't see anything obvious. We're going to retreat the bishop back to a nice safe square. We're taking this game nice and slowly. It's back to the boa constrictor style that we tried earlier on, because I've forgotten how badly it worked. Let's put my queen back opposite his king, because we're subtle. Very, very subtle. Ooh, maybe it'll work. I am clearing out space and pieces. Wait, can he go knight e4 here? Is that going to ruin my... He's played knight e4. Some of my opponents are playing some good moves tonight. Guess I can't complain. Can't take that pawn because I dropped d1. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to win it eventually. But, oh, I'm up on the clock. Oh, that's a good move. Always surprises me. Don't know why it should. Knight e3 feels clever. We're going to get some pawns rolling down the board at some point. Really am losing the ability to speak. Fortunately, you won't have to put up with it for much longer. I'm grabbing a pawn. There we have it. The decisive moment, maybe, as no one has ever come back from losing an entire pawn. He could almost contemplate resignation at this stage, but with 25 seconds, he might as well push on while he can. And in the meantime, we're going to do some pushing of pawns like we've never pushed pawns before. And an e pawn has been pushed. Let's push an f pawn. They're protecting and passed and pinning and checks and all kinds of tactics. We might win material here. We can give a check on g6. Do we have something better than bishop takes d6? Nothing obvious. We take on d6. If queen takes, we play c4. He takes with the rook. That is definitely the better capture. Well, we're just going to try and finish this game off with the minimum of fuss, as we are in danger of overrunning. Queen goes back to d8. He is putting up stern resistance. Queen comes out to f4. Don't want to fall for tactics. He's setting up a bishop takes g2 trick. Let's go king g1 to sidestep it. e3 was a very, very good tricky move though. Game officially not over. Let's have that pawn off. If you go bishop f6, I'm going c3. Most of my concentration is on not blundering my queen, so it will be really embarrassing if I do blunder it. We take on d6 and play c3. He's going to go queen d5 and try and mate me at some moment. Let's bring the bishop back into the game. Bishop f3 should be enough to steady the waters at least a little bit. He's going to take on a4. Ooh, he's trying a tactic. We can go g3 here. That's fine. That should put an end to the resistance fairly soon. But no, he carries on fighting on. We have played a lot of moves against this guy. What about this move? Bishop e5, I want to go rook d7. Bishop takes f4, rook takes c7. Bishop takes c7, e7. We get ourselves a new queen, and that is going to be that. That will be the end of tonight's hack attack. We finish with a glorious 2-0. The bits in the middle do not count. We won with bishop and knight against king. We won with extra material in the final game. And we will be back in 2 weeks' time.